Hi, in this video we'll be talking about Article 3 of the EU's AI Act and Clause 7, which defines distributor. So distributor is defined as a natural or legal person, as it was in the case of importer, natural or legal person in the supply chain. Also notice that this word supply chain was not there until now in any of the definitions that we have seen. So supply chain occurs for the first time in distributor. And the definition is a negative one. So natural or legal person in the supply chain other than provider or the importer. That makes an AI system available on the union market. So it makes an AI system available, right? It is not placing on the market, it is not putting into service, it is makes an AI system available on the market. That means, so placing on the market means you are doing it for the first time. Making available on the market, you are just making it available, it is already there. So that's why it says, and that's why the term supply chain is used, because now see, provider makes it, importer brings it from a third country to EU. But once it is inside EU, right? Now in this whole supply chain, let's say provider makes it, wherever provider is, provider sends it to an entity, right? So let's say the provider is inside EU. So if provider is inside EU and let's say this is deployer. So in that case, this person has to be a distributor. Note that this person cannot be a authorized representative, cannot be a deployer, cannot be a importer, because for importer mandatory condition is that the trademark or the name should be bearing of the natural or legal person in the third country. Now here this is coming from EU only. So provider is in EU, hence the trademark of the provider is inside EU. Now this entity, what will this be? This cannot be provider, this cannot be authorized representative, this cannot be importer. So then this distributor is kind of a include all term, right? Anything that is not a provider, not an importer, and makes an AI system available on the union market, that particular entity is distributor. And again note the GP, the general purpose AI model exclusion. Distributor also makes this exclusion that it does not mention general purpose AI model. It just talks about that makes an AI system available on the union market. Let's take another situation in which the provider is not in EU but is outside EU, okay, in a third country. Now in a third country, then this entity cannot be distributor. This entity, if provider, if this entity is the first entry point of the AI system in European Union, then this entity has to be importer. But anyone in between importer and deployer, it does not matter how many entities do you have in here, they are all distributors. So that's the main difference between importer and distributor. Again, like before concluding, so there is a negative definition of distributor. That means it says anybody who is not a provider or a importer is distributor. Everybody in supply chain who is not a provider or a importer is basically a distributor. But not blanket thing. This basically means that it has to make an AI system available on the market, okay? And like all other entities, Article 25 may still make it a provider. So if distributor puts its own name or trademark or label on the AI, it might still become a provider. We'll talk about Article 25 when we reach there. This seems to be a very important article affecting the obligations of all the entities that are important in the EU's AI Act. So that's it for this video. If you have still not subscribed to the channel, please do so and like and share the video. Thank you so much.